Hello and welcome back. So recently I released a video asking you guys to help me decide on what I should do. Everyone chose, well not everyone, but essentially everyone chose to do a custom build. And so, in order to make that happen, these are the parts I chose in order to do that. In front of me I have an ASRock server board slash workstation board. This is LGA 2011 V1 and V2 capable, so if I ever choose to upgrade in the future, I have a small, short window to do that. Well, maybe not short, but I have the opportunity to do that in the future should I need. And this should support all the existing RAM I have already as well. Next, we have the EVGA power supply. This is 750 watts, and this should be perfectly fine for the server. Unfortunately, it's not redundant power like I wanted, but getting a redundant power, as you guys may have seen, was very expensive. And finally, we have the Noctua i4 CPU coolers. These are designed for 3U and 4U chassis, and also for the LGA 2011 CPUs, as well as some other ones, but these will work for mine. Alright, so I wanted to open this with you guys, because I've never opened this before, or gone through this kind of thing before. So it looks like they gave us some SATA cables, a manual of sorts, and oh, there's a CD inside of here. That's cool. I don't know if that was on purpose. So this is for drivers, which we may or may not need, IO shield, and of course the motherboard itself. Holy crap, this thing is gorgeous. Ooh. Poking me. The soldering on the back is poking through the bag. Alright, check this thing out. That's perfect. It's got 16 RAM slots, which is exactly the amount of RAM I need. So on this board, we also have PCI Express 4X, and then 4 PCI 16 slots, and then 1 PCI 1.0 slot. And probably the most important thing and coolest thing is right here is a internal USB 2.0 port, which is where I'll be installing Unraid or using Unraid on this, which will be pretty amazing to have in the future. And of course, we also have SATA 3 ports, all these white ones right here. There are 6 total, and then SATA 2, which is, operate at 3 gigabits per second. It's not something that's ideal. And then we have 4 SCU ports that, with the right kind of hardware, you can actually put SATA hard drives on these. That's not something we're going to do. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fill this thing up with drives. I may or may not, but I guess that's something the future will behold for us. On this board, you have 2 PS2 ports for keyboard and mouse, serial, VGA, IPMI, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and 4 Intel NICs. Anyway, I'm not going to go over this all with you guys. Like I said, I don't really do reviews, but I did want to give you guys some insight on exactly what is going on here. So I've also never seen one of these, or well, I guess I've seen them online, but I've never opened them before or done anything of the sorts with these. So I'm going to open this up for you guys because this is my first time, and it could be some of y'all's as well. Oh, this is an accessory box. Sweet. Or maybe this holds the back though. Nope, it is a box of accessories and the brackets to hold it down, instruction manual, and some other cool things. But that's not the cool stuff. It's kind of cool, but what we really came here to see is the fan itself. Okay, wow, this thing is packaged pretty nicely. This thing's just boxes and boxes. Come on. Alright, finally. Can I pull it out of here, or... Oh, it's in there real good. Oh, it's like a fortune cookie, or when you order Chinese food for takeout. Wow, that thing is really packed in there quite nicely. So this looks like it might be a 90-something millimeter fan. 99, one of those, or maybe 90. Yeah, it's a 90-something millimeter fan for sure. Which is kind of crazy because I probably actually could have got a 120 millimeter. But at least there's no doubt in my mind that this will fit. And if cooling really becomes an issue, I could always get another fan and mount it on the fans itself, because it does actually include extra fan mounts or fan bracket clip things. Alright, so next on the list we're going to install the two LGA 2011 2670s onto this motherboard, and it should be pretty straightforward. So again, there's supposed to be some, match the triangle up to some corner or some other thing, but I've never known how to do that in all my years of building computers, not making computers. But somehow I just kind of do it and it magically works. And now for the second one. Oh, this one opens the opposite direction. Kind of makes sense. There we go. See, first try. Didn't even have to try or think about it. It just kind of happened. All right. So these are pretty much good to go. All right, time to apply some thermal paste onto these things. That's pretty good. Now, what's really cool about this Noctua fan is that it is capable of working on square and narrow ILMs, but I don't have to do anything to get this thing mounted on there. All I have to do is tighten the screws on each corner, and I am good to go. This is flawless. This is the best design I've ever seen in my entire life. So simple. And just to show you how simple it is, I basically just have to stick this, slide it right down in this hole, and righty-tighty. And it's that simple. Wow. Do that again to all corners, and we will be good to go. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And just a little bit more thermal goop for the second one. Is that enough? I can't tell. There, that should be plenty. Should be. Should, could, would. And there we go. Wow, this is so simple. I love this. This is pretty much why everyone recommends Noctua fans, because of, well, generally how simple they are to install CPUs, and they're always great performance. I actually almost went with Dark Rock Pros, but at the last second changed my mind. These were actually $10 cheaper. $10 cheaper, more highly recommended, and I was a little concerned with the height of the Dark Rock Pro 3s. I think they're a little bit taller, if not a lot taller than these coolers. These coolers are actually 122 millimeters in height, or at least I think they are. I can't confirm that, but I believe they're 122 millimeters height. So that should be plenty of room to fit inside of my chassis. This is going to be so amazing when it's done. I can't wait. Now these are only 4 gigabyte RAM modules, so I am going to be maxed out at 64 gigs here, which still should be okay, because I don't really plan on doing too much actually with this build, surprisingly. And as you can probably tell, I've got plenty of clearance for all sorts of types of RAM. So if your RAM's super tall, or not, or whatever it may be, these CPU coolers will clearly fit with pretty much, well, I could imagine pretty much any board, because it goes directly over the socket. And there's no issue with a heatsink overhang that is pretty common for a lot of heat sinks. And we're almost done. So what's funny is I still haven't tried a test fit yet, so I could be doing all of this work just to find out that it isn't going to fit inside of my chassis. Okay, so I was going to do a test fit first, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go for gold here. Install the IO shield, I think. Okay, wait, there we go, now we're in. All right, so I'm gonna go for gold, put the IO shield in, and now we are going to do a test fit, which, you know, with probably a little better research, I would have known preemptively if this would have worked or not, but it was really kind of hard to actually find answers on the internet, mostly because I didn't really search that hard. But this looks perfect. It is literally perfect. I have one more of these left over, and I see an empty spot for it, so I'm actually gonna remove this, and I'm gonna put one of the supports in real quick. And by support, I mean standoff. And this looks like about where it should go. And I have an extra one here, but I literally can't remove this. I don't have the tools to do it, or the man grip. Oh, that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So this is the pretty easy part. Just need to screw in all of the screws into the standoff points to hold down the motherboard. And also, this will kind of help align it a little bit. And we will be pretty much good to go from here. Whoa. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get these fans hooked up. I'm pretty sure I have space for all of these. So these are so this supports PWM, which is really nice. It should keep things a lot more quiet. And if not, then Noctua was kind enough to provide me with fan resistors as well. And I already have a bunch from previous builds. So that shouldn't be a problem either to keep this thing quiet. And you go here. Does that work like that? Dang. Doesn't. Okay, so we'll do something kind of ghetto. That should be good. Oh, come on. We should have plugged these in first. Or maybe I should be at a different angle. You guys have the good angle, where I should really be standing. Wow, I cannot get this in here. It is just fighting me tooth and nail. There we go. We'll just do this, and then cable manage afterwards. There we go. And all right, that's good enough. That's not going to get any better. Just kind of push that out of the way. So this chassis has 4 slots for, or I'm sorry, this motherboard has 4 pin or PWM slots at the front. Very convenient. However, I also have 2 Noctua fans in the rear, and the only way to get power there is with one of these awesome PWM splitters. So we are going to use this to provide power to the rear Noctua fans. So there's a crossbar that normally sits here that I guess supports the chassis, and you can kind of slide it into 3 different places, but it fits perfectly here over the radiator, so I am going to keep this. Okay, I just want to share with you guys real quick just how awesome this EVGA power or 750 power supply is. It comes with this awesome bag for holding cables. I've already got like tens of these things. Comes with some screws, and also comes with some Velcro straps. Love Velcro straps, perfect for cable management. Comes with the jumper should I need it, and of course all the cables. But then again, look at this, soft foam. Why don't more companies do this with other products? As I drop it. And of course it's wrapped in this ridiculous bag, but it's still really nice to see. Look at this thing. Love it, absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and get it inside. Almost forgot to take the plastic off. Oh yeah, cool. Alright, so I am going to insert this like this. just need to run some cables now, so this should be fairly quick and straightforward. Kind of wish I plugged these in first, but that's okay. Still pretty simple. And one for the CPUs, and another for a CPU. This goes all the way over here. Oh, dang it, I'm unplugging cables. No! No, messing it all up. Wow, I really am messing this all up. Well, I want to go in. There we go. Why am I making this so difficult? Messed up all those cables just to plug in a couple CPUs. Should have taken all but 1 second. Couldn't even do that. Alright, so not much else to do here. I am going to stick in my 4-port gigabit NIC. Not that I really need it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Kind of like just in case. This graphics card will be the dedicated GPU for Unraid, and this GTX 1050 will be for my Hakatosh or any other VM that I want to do GPU pass-through to. Kind of like a for fun thing, not really necessary, but you know, the option is there if I have, or if I need it anyway. And I've totally lost my screwdriver, so I'm not really putting these in any particular order. I'm just kind of doing it semi-randomly. I can't actually put in, so I could actually put this in, but I don't remember where the full-size bracket is for it, so I may actually just hold off on putting that in for now, and then only mount my 2 graphics cards. Actually, I probably wouldn't even need a dedicated GPU. Now I'm going to, because this thing only does VGA, and I don't have a VGA adapter to HDMI, let alone a monitor that can even do VGA. So this NVIDIA Quadro, this tiny little thing, I don't even know what this is. I got it off of a used system a long time ago. But it does its job pretty well for what it is. Sweet. I have dedicated graphics now, or what will be dedicated graphics. And should Unraid not like the onboard networking, we always have the extra 4-port NIC that I can install here. Wow, this thing just... There we go. I was going to say, I didn't want to go in straight. So the 1050 doesn't need any extra power, so I already have all the cables I need. So I think we're pretty much good to go. And we can get this thing powered and booted. Almost forgot. Can't forget my Linux bootloader, or Unraid bootloader. So that is, let me show you guys real quick. So this is actually a little hard to see, but it's going to go right in here, and this is a USB 2.0 port. And boom. My SanDisk USB thumb drive is installed. Oh, I gotta put these things back on. No big deal. Alright, now before I forget, I am gonna have dual parity, and these are 1 terabyte platter drives, and then also just 2 other 1 terabyte Western Digital Blacks. These are all Western Digital Black drives. These are all gonna be basically for big storage. I don't know, just general storage of anything I may need, like backup VMs or whatever it may be. So I'll be using the Samsung 250GB SSD. This is a regular Evo, 850 Evo, as my SSD cache. And then these 2 Intel 730 series 480GB SSDs as my VM storage, or where the actual VMs will run from and set up off of the cache. I really haven't used these in a long time since I've moved to NVMe on my gaming computer. So this will be really nice to have for my Hackintosh build that is going to happen in here again. So let's go ahead and get these things in here. Alright, so I got everything plugged in, and I think it's time for our first boot. HDMI is plugged in, keyboard, mouse, monitor, you name it, should be good to go. So let's try it out and see what happens. Maybe I plug those in wrong. Let's try the reset button. Let me check the power. It's always the power. There we go. I see some lights. See some lights already coming on in there. And all right, let's go. All right, we have power. Oh, okay. Got scared there for a second. Oh, okay, cool. We are. Did I make it into the BIOS? Okay, so it sees the disks. That's good. I think I saw some running at 3 gigabits per second there. A9. All right, we're in. Great. So we have our processors. It looks like it's only showing one. If I'm reading that, nope. That's 2. And we have 64 gigs of RAM. So that's to be expected, and it sees them as 2670s at 2.6 gigahertz, which is their true clock speed. Alright, and CPU fan full on. Just make sure all their fans are on, and I mean I can tell they are because I can see them. Server management. We're gonna. Okay, so this thing's actually already trying to boot into the SanDisk USB, which is awesome. I think this Western Digital. I think this might be our SSD. Or no, that's not right. I kind of want to boot into Windows just to make sure everything looks good. Let's see here. Is there a boot override? Boot. Boot unlock. Timeout. No boot override? Really? Okay, so we'll Control Alt Delete, see if we can get a boot override the hard way. This thing is pretty loud, actually. I think I'm going to have to change these fans out, because I don't know what kind of decibels we're looking at here. But it is abnormally loud, I would say. Alright, so we want the Samsung 250 EVO, because that is where I previously installed Windows on the previous server before it died. So it's probably going to come with a bunch of errors, but I guess we'll find out, because, you know, new motherboard, same RAM, same processors, but the drivers for the NICs and Lord knows what else is probably all jacked up. So Windows might not boot. Oh wow, that was fast. Okay, so it booted right up. Cool, I remembered my password. So this is server 2016. I know you guys can't see that probably too well from where you are. Trust me, I can barely see it. But at the end of the day, it is showing. Oh, it's actually running at 3.2 gigahertz. That's interesting. Oh, that's the turbo boost. 16 cores, 32 threads. And let's see what it has for memory. For memory, it is showing 64 gigabytes of DDR3. And it's currently only using 1.9. That's actually quite a lot. And of course, our Ethernet ports. Very cool. Alright, I'm finally done with it. So you guys get the short version of this. It's taken me about a week, almost 2 weeks actually, to get this server up and running. Not because I had any problems, but just because I didn't have time and actually did some traveling as well. But that's besides the point. It's clearly working. It's booted up in Windows Server 2016. I'm going to go ahead and download some BIOS updates as well as any other firmware that I can. And then I'm going to get Unraid running on it, and I should be good to go ahead and rebuild my Hakatosh, or whatever, my virtual machine Hakatosh, as well as anything else I want to do. But for right now, the first project is getting the Hakatosh up, and then I'll kind of play with something else a little bit later. And I definitely want to look at getting those fans replaced because they're pretty loud. So if you guys have any suggestions for fans, I'm probably going to get knocked to it, to be honest. Just drop them in the comments. And, well, I guess Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.